Hey, what's up, Toast? Just got back from the gym. I worked out earlier. I did pull my hamstring earlier. Not earlier. Pull my hamstring again yesterday. So I did a couple miles on the stationary bike to warm up, and then I did legs, back, and triceps. Not much of a leg day. What'd you do more? Sled type of stuff? Push, pull. You just got back from lunch. We're not the same. That's funny. 100 Navy SEAL burpees. So I know I haven't done a burpee in a while. I know what I'm sure there's different variations. What's the variation of a Navy SEAL burpee versus a regular burpee? The way I do burpees, and I've always done burpees, drop down to like a plank position, you do a push-up, you kind of jump your knees in like an ab type of exercise, and then you stand up, jump up in the air, and then go back down. Burpees suck. There's some of the workout programs that I've done where they for like the month they focus on like some extra cardio in between. There's some of those workouts I've done where you do like a regular set and then you do like 5 or 10 burpees in between, then you go back at it again. Those suck. Oh, you add a pull up and a push up and a cross body plank? Huh. I'm actually right now listening to. I was seeing if Boogeyman Bill, maybe he's lurking. See if he would pop in here. I'm actually listening to like the second half right now of the Between Two Biomes latest podcast. Gymnastics runs? I don't think I've ever done a pull up with those. I'm assuming tougher, you need to have more stability than just grabbing a stationary bar. You can probably though, if you once you start getting tired, I would assume since they're kind of loose, you could probably use a little bit of momentum. Not that you want to do that a ton, but I would assume probably a little more movement versus a bar. Good guess. Lurking in the sim. Yeah, so I didn't know you were talking about the Fort Batten thing last night. I didn't have a chance to watch the podcast, but while I was actually speaking of working out, while I was working out, I had on like the first half with Jason Kahn of Jackson Kahn, I think his name was, and CE Sim Golf, and then Mashi and Blasta. And I didn't know, like you said, charity, but I didn't know the backstory. That's like heartbreaking with his two daughters with Batten disease, I think it's called. Um, that's terrible. So I was thinking, I mean that kind of stuff really pulls at your heartstrings. But you mentioned doing the SGT. I'll either look into that, but at a bare minimum, either this weekend or next week, I'll do. I may end up doing both. I may do like possibly like a 3 to T video, speak like trying to raise some awareness about the raffle and the tournament and whatnot. And then I'll probably do a like an 18-hole live stream with the kind of talking about and trying to raise some awareness the best that I can about that their foundation or whatever you call it. Stopped in for a thumbs up. Thanks, PJG. Do a fundraiser to buy me different shoes. I may have. We'll see. I don't know. They scrolled through the. I'm assuming you watched at least probably part of that C drum or all of it. Um, um, the raffle thing. There may be some shoes. I can enter a raffle maybe for the foundation. Maybe enter a raffle for some new shoes. We could do that. That stuff, like I was not expecting. I thought, like Bogeyman Bill mentioned the charity. I thought it was just like you never know. Charities usually most of the time they're good causes. You really see what hope they would be. So I didn't know like necessarily what it was, and I didn't know the backstory of that guy. But that stuff pulls at my heartstrings with like pediatric disease type of stuff. That's terrible. Makes me I didn't know yesterday. I was asking Golfy and I was kind of asking you guys in the chat when we were downloading the course. Both of them popped up. I was like, I don't know which one to do. Now I wish yesterday for the live stream of Golfy we would have played the Fort Batten one because that at least would have people that tuned into that would have seen kind of some of the markers or whatever and the course name and maybe Googled it themselves or something. Yeah, same. I think I'm looking at the same thing. I didn't look into the actual raffle of the auctions like on their website. It was just they were scrolling through it and it seemed like the prices were up there. But I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm just gonna donate. They said you can donate right on the website, so I don't know if they take like your credit card or Venmo or whatever, PayPal. I'll probably donate and then, like I said, I'll try to do my part in doing a video too about it in hopes that maybe people that weren't aware kind of know about it. But I have it on my phone. I have an earbud in. I'm like listening to it. They're on hole Mashy C Sim Golf and Master Blaster on hole number 7 right now. It's pretty crazy. They made some good points. Like I still a lot of the design stuff kind of goes over my head, but it's cool that they got the actual drone footage from the course because they like it's an actual licensed course, so they knew about it and kind of gave them some extra resources. Tell you what, Mashy's been playing well. And I didn't know he mentioned it yesterday. I didn't know that he actually played Tobacco Road in real life. Oh, SGT has a link to donate. So I don't know. I don't know if it really be much of a difference. I guess I can look into it. But you were saying last night, and they said too, it's free to play for like 2 weeks, and you just need to have an SGT username, is what you were saying. So I'm assuming I can just sign up with an email and I guess enter it. But I think as far as me doing a video or two about it, I don't know if that necessarily makes a difference. I said it last night, but I just been holding off on SGT. I don't wanna jump into SGT, start winning all the tournaments. Seadrum's name drops down to second place all the time. Have you played the new Tobacco Road yet, Bill? This course is brutal. I think though, like we definitely got lucky, and I got lucky on some shots that worked out that like I really poorly hit and mishit. But although like a crazy course with all like the greens and the bunkers and whatnot, it does seem like if you kind of spray it all over the place like I was doing some shots, and even these guys here with the scramble a little bit, seems like you can kind of get away with some stuff. So you go on and sign up, big dog? Just an email, I would assume, right? Like I said, I haven't looked into it. I just started watching the podcast earlier, but not played yet, but like we'll play it 3 times. Yeah, with all the SGT you do. We got Top G, Top Designer, Seadrum in here. See, Sim Golf can play too. I think so far from what I've seen, um, again, I kind of had the gameplay up in the background while I was working out. I was more intently listening to like the interview part, but seems like Mashy. I mean, they're 5 under. There's 3 of them, but they're 5 under through 8. Mashy seems like he's been carrying these boys a little bit. Ooh, Master Blaster 149 ball speed. You just pay on the site and then copy your ID into the game. Well, I was saying the point was Seadrum, this Fort Batten thing. I don't know. I'm still not 100% sold on paying for SGT. I know it's only $80, but this Fort Batten thing, you can do it for free. And Bill was saying last night that you just have to have a username on SGT. So I think you can just sign up with an email just for this like 2 week thing. I don't know. Again, if me doing some videos to kind of raise awareness, if it matters if I'm a part of that or not. I don't really care about seeing my name towards the end of the leaderboard. But what's up, Ethan? Where did I get that? I'm assuming you're talking about the putting mat. I have it. It's in the description. The very top of the description. It says my putting mat. Got it on Amazon. You can see the direct link to it if you want to get the same one or something similar. Bottom of the leaderboard is reserved for you. When are we playing, Bill? I was asking you last night. We gotta do a scramble. Nice little short par 3 scramble. Oh, the lights are separate, but those are also cheap. I got those on Amazon too. They're only like, I don't know, $7. I thought you were talking about the putting mat. What's up, Aussie golfer? maybe Aussie golfer. It seems like you travel around a good amount to play golf. Um, if you didn't know this, there's a charity event going on within GS Pro, that program that I use for the For Baton um, Foundation. There's a bunch of like really cool raffles you can do. Um, for like I mean there's like it seems like there was like hundreds of them, pretty much every course and like experience you could think of. But um, really really good cause. I'm watching the end of like the second half. The podcast is called Between Two Biomes, and they had Tobacco Road that I played yesterday. They had they're two. It's a podcast with two course designers. They had CE Sim Golf, who was the guy that actually designed Tobacco Road that I played yesterday. They had him on, and they also had um, Jason Kahn, I think his name is, from Jackson Kahn Design, who's a real life golf design company, and his daughters unfortunately got diagnosed. He has twin daughters that are 15 now. When they were like 7, they got diagnosed with Batten disease, I think it was called, which seemingly sounds absolutely awful, like pretty debilitating. They said their daughters start to go blind, or they are blind now, and they have like um, pretty severe like dementia, which is crazy. They just got out of the hospital. But all that to say, they're raising awareness and trying to do raffles to raise money for the charity. Seems like a really good cause. Just let me know, free most of the time. All right. Well, um, yeah, I do play golf, Ethan. Um, thumbs up for Hosel. Yeah, I was not expecting that type of story. If you want to hear, it was, I think, well, like 20, 30 minutes maybe at the beginning of this podcast, this episode that I'm listening to. But yeah, really, really sad story, but good cause to raise some money for. Like Bogeyman Bill was saying, I'm gonna donate. They have a whole thing going on within GS Pro, but they usually do every year. They do a charity tournament as well in real life at Tobacco Road, which is why this whole thing came to be. But now they're doing basically now, I think it's probably going to turn into a yearly thing, I would assume. Uh, Basically virtual golf, simulator golf charity tournament on top of their regular one. Um, Bogeyman Bill, we can play as soon as tomorrow if you want, or like this weekend or next week. Let me know. We'll do one of Seadrum's Trash Can par 3 courses. I know I've been playing those a lot, but they are the best par 3 courses on GS Pro. So even if I didn't know Seadrum and or disliked Seadrum, I would still play them. Or we could play 2 of them. We could do like a real life one, like that Marrakesh or whatever, and then we could do a fantasy. I'm surprised. I'm like listening to this, and I was surprised before too. I'm under the impression that Mashi only played this Tobacco Road course once, but like, and obviously he's a designer, he's big into golf and all that stuff. But it's surprising. Like, I'm not the type of person to be able to play a course one time and then like he's saying like as if this was like his home course. Like, if I remember this hole like funnels down, you want to aim at this tree over here, you don't want to miss left. Like, I need to play a course, I feel like 5 or 10 times to get a feel for like, all right, now I remember this hole. I know where you can hit it, where you can't hit it. Kind of impressive that you can play a course once or even a handful of times and remember hold a hole like that. And I was thinking too, cool thing about coming on the channel for a Scramble live match is my chat just roast me 100% of the time. So even if you hit terrible shots, it's still going to be my fault. And no matter what, if we play good or we play bad, it's going to be my fault. Or I guess not even if we played good. If we played good, it's credit to you. If we played bad, then it's 100% my fault. So I feel like, relatively speaking, low pressure. One 100% those Crocs fault. Well, lucky for you, I don't golf in the Crocs. I will say though, 100% you'll see me out there once it's not 20 degrees in the garage and we get into like springtime. I'll be out there in Crocs hitting some shots. I have enough pairs. I have been debating buying one of those golf spike kits so you can convert like any shoe over to a golf shoe. I may end up putting some spikes on the bottom of one of my Crocs and try them on course. No pressure. Warned you my game is ugly. Doesn't matter though. I mean, the whole point of it is just fun playing online as a team with someone else. So, a lot of times my game is terrible too, but it's kind of besides the point. No one expects us to go out there and shoot 18 under par. I was watching back some of mine and Golfy's match yesterday, and that one shot, he hit like a 3-wood or something, and that was like a pretty severe, by the looks of it, pretty severe misread from the square. I don't see, like while I'm playing, I have like the Discord call up on my computer, so I'd have to like walk back every time to see like his shot. So most of those shots I didn't like see him swing, but there was that one at the beginning, it may have been like the first hole. It went like dead left, and by the looks of it, it looked like he hit it pretty, at least relatively straight into the screen. I don't know what the deal was with that. You got new grips coming? Using your dad's irons currently? I'd be surprised. Do you have like another set of somewhat newer irons? Or is it, I know you use those primarily, but do you have another set? Like, do you have like a backup set? So I would be curious if, I'm sure those aren't the most forgiving clubs in the world. I get why you're playing them, but I will be curious if you found like even a 5 to 10 year old set used for relatively cheap and good condition. Um, I'd wonder what you would find with your game if you thought the newer tech may help you out a little bit. Even something from like I'm a big fan of that 2012 Rocket Blades line or Rocket Balls line from TaylorMade. Even something like that, which now at this point is like 13 years old. You can get a set of those irons for pretty cheap. I'm just wondering if you're possibly making a tough game even tougher using those. So I'm thinking it's probably similar. My dad, he still doesn't have them, but he thinks the those Ping I2 beryllium copper irons are really cool, and he's kind of been over the past like year or so looking on eBay to see if he finds a deal on any, which they're kind of sought after and kind of expensive. But something like that, maybe treat the clubs your dad's clubs, maybe something like that to where uh you treat it more like like an antique car type of set of clubs to where like you take them out like once a month on a nice Sunday afternoon type of thing, but then you have like a daily driver like your other irons that you hit, if that makes sense. Pink Eye Twos, baby. I have a 3 iron. I have a 3 iron in my bag as my punch out club. Those are cool. I don't think I've ever seen them in real life. It's not like they're like something magical, but I don't think I've ever seen them. And I definitely haven't hit one of those beryllium coppers. They're supposed to be a little bit softer from the material. Doubt new irons would help much if I get my club speed up, maybe. I don't know. I'm just curious. Like when was the last time you hit anything like modern? Like if you played a round either on course or on the simulator more than just like hitting a couple in the store, have you used like a more modern set of irons? Because I feel like modern day game improvement irons, though I can imagine the ones you're using are probably pretty similar to like the forgiveness of like cavity backs at this point. There is a lot of like forgiveness in tech in the newer type of irons, even 5, 10 years old. You have the 3 iron in front of you, really? What is it? Mine's the I got a 3 iron for me, and I got a 4 iron for my dad. I think mine is a 3 iron orange dot. I think his was either black or blue dot. But when we both got what was that, 2 years ago? We got matching sets. I should have never got them, but we got matching sets of Sim 2 irons. So he got regular graphite shafts, and I got steel stiff shafts. But when we got those clubs, I bought the 3 iron and 4 iron for $7.50 a piece on Second Swing, just to use as our like crap punch out club. I think those still are. I think P790 over the past 5 or 10 years has been the most popular selling iron, but for a while it may still be. Those Ping I2s were like the most popular iron set ever made. There's people that still play those. You have a full set of black dots. Your dad has a set too and still plays them. Really? That's awesome. I didn't know that. Wasn't it? I think they're a little more sought after now because they've kind of grown a cult following. But I heard like, um, I mean, I didn't get into golf until later in life, but I heard like if I was like growing up or like 10, 20, 30, 40 years ago, those would be the type of clubs where you could walk into any like played against sports type of store and they would have like tons of those sets just like for relatively cheap that you could just buy. I think there was a model of those or like a variation of those, I believe, Aussie golfer that were banned because of the grooves. I know for a fact the beryllium copper ones, those stopped being made because they in the manufacturing process that material is they apparently found out it's toxic. As long as you don't like scrape off the metal and like lick it, you can still use them and be fine. So you can still like use them and play with them, and it's not toxic. But apparently the manufacturing process was, so that's why they stopped making those, and they kind of had a cult following, and now they're pretty expensive still, even for something that's what 40 years old. Black dots were the square grooves. He was the BECU putter too. That's awesome. That is cool. I don't think I've ever hit a single ping club besides that 3 and 4 iron. But it is cool how they have the whole dot system for uh, the lengths, the lofts, the lie, all that kind of stuff. Like they have like a whole fitting chart, and it's really cool because me and my dad both. I just bought single irons. They both like mine had a laminated sticker on the shaft. It was from like a golf professional. It was like candlestick. Uh, some kind of like candlestick name of a course in like California. And Ping's customer service is awesome. They have all the serial numbers on all of the clubs, and if you call them and ask, they can give you like a history of when that specific club was made and possibly who had it before. It's pretty cool how you can like look into the history if you ever get any of those clubs. It's pretty cool. I forget. So mine, I think I left it on there. It still has it on there. It was like the guy's, whoever the guy was. It was like his name, his phone number, and maybe his email or something. I don't even know if it was the email, but my dad's had something else on it too. The previous owner, I forget what it was though. B60 ping putter for 30 years. Yeah, I mean people. I haven't tried. I mean, I've hit some like clubs in store and type of stuff, but not for a while. Um, I've never significantly used any Ping type of clubs, but it seems like that's one of those brands where you start using Ping in like your you're pretty much locked in for life or for a long time. You saw the last year. My dad was saying down in Florida, one of the guys he plays with, he was walking around. They have yard sales down there a lot. The guy was walking around, and there was a big pile, someone's driveway, a big pile of like golf clubs. And he went over. And he's like, "Oh, what do you guys want for the golf clubs?" And she was like $1 a piece. And he got a freaking Scotty Cameron blade putter out of there for $1. Insane. He didn't know exactly what it was, but it was a Scotty Cameron blade for $1. Which I was saying to him, and he kind of agreed to. I would feel bad uh buying that for $1, but then if you like said, "Oh, well, I'll give you $20, I'll give you $50 for it," then you run the risk of having them say, "Well, hold on a second, I have this as $1. You're giving me 50. What is this thing actually worth?" And then not sell it. So I don't know, kind of a tricky situation. For what you paid for it. Adjusted with inflation or no? Yeah, take it for $1 and run. I know. I mean, something like that. Obviously, you would say, "Oh, this is a Scotty Cameron putter for even if she had." So if she had $1 on it or five, you'd be like, "All right, I'll easily give you $20." But you know what I'm saying? If you say, "Oh, well, I'll give you 20," that's a little more fair. Then they may second guess selling it in the first place, which is kind of strange too. How does someone how does someone have a Scotty Cameron? I don't know if it was like a wife that it was their husband's club or whatever, but how does a household have a Scotty Cameron and not know that it's worth more than $1? Like someone had to have either got that as a gift or paid for it in the first place, and they know it's worth more than $1. Man, these greens at Tobacco Road are just brutal. By the way, did you guys see a poll? I tried doing a poll for the first time. I've never done one before. I don't see it on my end though. You guys have the poll for drive for show or putt for dough? Or did that go away? The poll was there? Okay, cool. From what I can surmise, I think obviously it's not a super important poll, but from what I can surmise, that's similar to like I was asking people to like the video. I really hate doing that. It feels like I'm like begging for money. But I think like similar to liking the video, doing one of those polls is just an easy way to get a little bit more engagement, I think. in terms of the live streams. Maybe I'll start doing those, and you guys can just vote whatever you want. Also, whoever, I think Master Blast is the one that's controlling this stream. Boogeyman Bill, I think you watched the entire episode. Whatever settings he has on his flyovers looks pretty good. I remember when I first switched over to the newer version of GS Pro, whatever their standard flyover was like pretty terrible. So I went back to the legacy flyover or whatever it's called. But whatever settings he has on this one looks really good. I may need to mess around with that. Boogeyman Bill, I'm curious. I've been talking a little bit um, with some other people about like certain designers, favorite designers, that type of stuff. Do you have off the top of your head? Do you have like a top 3, top 5 type of thing for like your favorite designers on GS Pro? Do you? I feel like I'm personally more in the mind of thinking like I'd pick out the courses that I really like, and then sometimes like the designers overlap. But I was curious if like you or like any other people out there have like a list of like designers that they gravitate towards more than others. Or like one of those things where they drop a new course and you have higher anticipation and more excitement about playing type of thing. Or if it's more on a course by course basis. There's several where you know would be good. You don't have to rank them, but do you have any off like the top of your head? Because I feel like I'm starting to pay attention a little bit more. Um, Obviously, Sim Golf, which I wasn't super familiar with, from what he's been doing at the top of the game. Um, Curious if you have others that come to mind. I think it probably depends too. Apparently, all these designers have like kind of different tools and tricks they use, and they kind of try to make their own feel for each of the courses. So there may be something where a certain designer, the way they do something, may suit your eye, possibly more than another, if that makes sense. What's up, Nick? Yeah, I tend to focus too much on the shot, not the view. I agree 100%. Even on ones I've fallen into that pattern of even when I'm supposed to be like beta testing something for C-Drum, I get too I get too wrapped up in like reading the chat and like focusing on the shot versus like actually taking like 10 seconds per hole and like looking around. Not much, Nick. What's up with you? Do you look, Nick? Did you look what irons you have? Nick over here got a brand new Callaway driver and he got some new TaylorMade irons, but he didn't know what they were. Gonna warm up for the Simbar action tonight. Going for 6 wins in a row. Jeez, they're gonna start disliking you over there, Toast. They're gonna start coming in and say, "Oh, it's this guy who's won 5 times in a row, not him again." Which bar? I'm on my way. He's up in Canada. Maybe a little bit of a drive. What these guys shoot? They shot 59. Drum, do you do any kind of like neighborhood or like golf buddy type of group? Like any type of, do you like organize any type of league in your sim or no? I was thinking about doing something like that, but then I was like, I don't know. You got 5, 10, 15 people into a league, and then it kind of just ends up being 5, 10, 15 times more wear and tear on all the stuff that you paid for in the first place. QI set, nice. I wonder if it's the QI 10, which they definitely had irons. I don't know if they came out. I didn't look it up. I didn't know if TaylorMade came out with a new set for the QI 35s because they did the same thing with the Stealth line. Stealth 1, they came out with irons, game improvement irons to match that, but then when they went to Stealth 2, they didn't do another set. So I'm wondering if this QI 10 versus QI 35 is the same thing. Most of your buddies ended up with a sim, so you don't have to travel. That's that's one way to do it. I don't know a single other person. Actually, that's not true. I know one person who I like kind of knew in high school, and I still see on like Facebook. He has a just a pop-up net and an MLM2 in some type of like work warehouse. But besides him, I don't know a single other person that has a simulator or even a launch monitor. In a couple of weeks, we'll be playing Hosel. Yeah, we gotta get you on the channel. Bogeyman Bill says he's in, so I've been peer pressuring him. Doesn't seem like I have to peer pressure Toast quite as much. But I don't know. I may have to be on your team, and we may have to do a scramble. You're on a hot streak over there at the sim bar, so I don't know if I want to play head to head against you. But I think kind of the point you're making, which is cool, the fact that anyone with GS Pro, you can just kind of make friends online and just play people, which is cool. Who'd I peer pressure? Oh, I'm half joking. I just want people to come on and do a live stream and play together on the simulator software I have. Uneven Par and I are Team Canada. He's he's got a sim place like a kind of like the sim bar you go to or whatever. He's got a sim place near him that is like really really cheap. It's like $30 an hour, 20 $30 an hour or something crazy cheap. And they have GS Pro and I forget what he said they had for a launch monitor, but we were talking about he may go over there and rent it for an hour, and then me and him can play either do a scramble or do like a match. Do I remember you from yesterday? Yeah, I remember. That's why I asked about your irons. Sometimes I have a bad memory, but it's not that bad. You guys have any ideas of what I could do to try to raise extra awareness or more, an additional amount of awareness instead of me just doing like a video for that four baton tournament charity thing that's going on and like a live stream? Besides like my regular type of video and live stream of just playing it. I'm open to suggestions for a good cause. Meeting a computer geek on Saturday to get you set up? It's not that tough. What'd you say? You were buying a used, slightly older desktop and then switching out the GPU, I think you said. As far as like as far as like GS Pro goes and all that stuff, that's pretty easy to do. Like with the connector and whatnot. Your grandpa uses the expression "drive for show, putt for dough." It's a good expression. I'll be right back. Bathroom break. Crocs only stream. I mean, if I can boost up my memberships, we can do a members only stream. Never know what you're gonna get with some of these putting streams. Yet, it's not the most eventful thing in the world, but oddly enough, these stupid putting streams seem to do better than some of the actual simulator streams. So, there's been times where there's been like over 100 people in here watching me putt for whatever reason. More casual, don't need to pay attention. I hit putts with you. Yeah, no, I was thinking they're kind of more. Obviously, I'm hitting the same putt over and over again. It's kind of a little bit more of a podcast, so to speak. But I don't really have. I've been doing these like every day, so I don't have anything groundbreaking necessarily to pontificate about over here. So usually it's more so I do more of the talking if you guys ask any questions or say anything funny in the chat. Appreciate you guys hanging out though. I just wish there was something additionally golf related that I could do on kind of these off days to where give my body a rest from swinging, and putting is the best thing I've come up with as far as like indoors. Sweet wallpaper? Oh, it's not wallpaper. This is a curtain. There's a window right here. It's pretty sweet though, right? I'm thinking I may been just over an hour. I may shut this down. Sweet Karen, thanks, dog. I may shut this down a little bit earlier than usual and possibly may come back later tonight at like 5 o'clock maybe and try bringing the square back in here and setting up my laptop maybe. I was looking at the stream a little bit. I think if I put my laptop like right here, maybe up on like a box with the square running, you could see the screen possibly. Um, and not that it really change it a lot, but kind of have some putt feedback that you guys could at least see on your end. I mean, I could set up things to where I was doing last winter before I had the square. Did a couple of those VR Oculus streams. I could do one of those if you guys want to see that. Problem is, even the Oculus Golf, you're still swinging. So obviously I could swing easy, but you still kind of move with that, and that's still kind of that same motion, which is the whole reason I'm doing like an off day like this. But I could do ping pong. I'm pretty good at VR ping pong. I could do that, but even that, I'm moving. I still kind of have to move back and forth a little bit, and with my knee and my hamstring, I don't know. But we could do a VR stream. Fire that back up. I don't have the newer Oculus. I have the Oculus 2 swing stick on GS Pro. I know I was thinking about that too, Bill, but same thing with the VR. Like you're still kind of swinging. So the whole point of me resting is like my back and my obliques and all that kind of stuff, just that repetitive motion. I worry that that wouldn't be much of a. Obviously, I'm not swinging quite as hard, hitting balls. It's not quite as much of an off day. That's not a bad idea. That's what I was asking before, if anyone had any kind of ideas to where I could switch this up a little bit, but maybe this putting stream, if I bring the square back in here, we could do that. We could do the swing stick inside, and then we could do the Oculus every once in a while. I wonder if there's a way. Um, I don't know if I can do it on the older Oculus. I know you can do it on. I saw people in the Facebook group. They had that Apple VR headset, whatever that one's called. That's like $500 or whatever it is, maybe even more. Maybe it was like 2,000. I forget. It was expensive. Either way, there was someone that ran. You can run like a parallel screen from what your computer sees onto the Oculus. I'm wondering if I can somehow get GS Pro to work on my oh, it's 3K. Yeah. I don't remember exactly what it was. That makes more sense because the Oculus, I got mine, I think it was like 300 maybe. I don't know what the new one is. Um, but there was a way. I wonder if there's a way I can get GS Pro onto my Oculus and use like the swing stick with the headset on while I'm playing it. I don't know if that's possible or not. Not sure if you can play on course practice. Could do a putting challenge. You saying the putting challenge with the swing stick? Yeah, I was thinking like you had the idea with um the couch cushion or whatever, Bill, to do the putting here. I could do that, I guess. Screen duplicate thing. Never tried it with a wireless model. I don't know how. I think it would still be cool, but even say I could do. I have the Oculus 2, which I got it during COVID time, so it was like 2020ish, which is a few years old now. Even if I could duplicate my screen running GS Pro onto the Oculus, obviously the Oculus isn't VR like that golf game is. So it would be 2D. So I would be playing and it would look like I think I'm like watching a YouTube video of me playing. So it's going to be more of like obviously instead of the 3D immersive, it'd be inside of GS Pro. It would be me like looking at a screen of me hitting shots in GS Pro, I think, which would still probably be cool. If you guys remember, I didn't do that many of them, but those were the first live streams I think on the channel. Um, there was times where I would work up a pretty significant sweat playing ping pong because I get competitive and hate losing to people online, and I'm ranked. They give you like I don't know, like skill level points or whatever. They rank you, so they pair you up with someone similar, and my ranking's kind of up there. So every time I do an online match and get paired with someone, the guy's pretty good. So I end up like kind of like lunging side to side to be able to get the ball and like swinging kind of hard. And then at the end of some of those, I have a boxing game, which is actually a really really good workout. I don't love the fact of getting super sweaty with an Oculus headset on, but there are people that do that for a workout, and I did that a couple of those streams, and I was throwing haymakers for like 15 minutes straight, which is pretty exhausting. Boxing game with me one time. Never been so sore in my life. I know. Tell me about it. Like my back, like those back muscles from when you're throwing haymakers. I was very sore too a couple of times when I did that. I mean, you're throwing. It's like it's so realistic. I think the ping pong personally, that's my favorite game. As crazy as it sounds, with the VR, the way it is with that game and like the haptic feedback with the vibrations and whatnot, that's like 95% real. It feels like in terms of ping pong. Like obviously the golf isn't and the boxing isn't quite there, but the boxing like you're still moving and you're still like walking around the ring and you're still throwing punches. Like you're throwing legit punches doing that. The ping pong's awesome though, and I bought there's a when I was doing that last year, I bought the pickleball game. I haven't loaded that up in probably a year, over a year. There's a pickleball game from the same makers of the ping pong game, which is really good. So I'm sure that's probably improved over the past year. You could try that. Put my Xpod on the old TV right in front of me. I'm hitting 5 to 40 footers. Do you use a pillow, like a pillow cushion or like a couch cushion, similar to what Bill was saying? So like if I had a pillow right here, then I could hit. Obviously, I can't hit like a 60-foot putt right here because it would go flying. But if I had like a pillow here, then I could still hit pretty hard putts. Problem is I don't have a TV in here, and it'd be kind of a pain to bring one in. and I like doing these streams on like the mobile, like with my phone. So if I do set that up, like I was talking about with the computer, I would have the computer like right here facing you guys, so I wouldn't even see what happens. So I can still do it from my phone. Because whatever reason, YouTube doesn't like as much, it seems like, when you do the vertical streams from like OBS. I might do Oculus though. Maybe I'll plug that in. That sounds kind of fun. I figured out, I gotta get it back. I figured it all out last winter. I figured it out to where I had TTS, it's called, like text to speech. I had it to where um, I had the headset on, so there was no way for me to read the chat, but I had it set up to where I had a headphone in, or an earbud, and it was reading out. If you guys typed anything in the chat, it would read it out to me in my ear while I had the headset on, and I was responding and playing like that. Would you guys watch a stream with me messing around on the Oculus? I think it could be fun. It's crazy. Even last year, now that I think about it, even last year, like live streaming wasn't as much of a thing as it is now. Like obviously there were still people that live stream a ton a year ago, but I feel like especially like this entire like sim golf community has kind of went more towards live, doing stuff live. Even last year, I mean, I don't know how many subscribers I had, probably like less than half of what I have now. So there was like 2 people in there while I was doing it. But I wonder if those Oculus streams maybe get a couple more people in there doing that. When I get the computer, we can do putting challenges. Yeah, so we could do um, even something inside. I mean, I guess I could do that against Bill too. But like even something here, I guess you could play. Like you could play that Putt Warehouse. You could play with someone online and do like a head-to-head match or a scramble, just putting only. I think I'm gonna look into that because last winter I didn't even have my gaming laptop, so I was using my older MacBook to do those Oculus streams. So I had everything kind of set up on there. Maybe I'll try to look into here and fire it up tonight. Look into how I can set everything up to where the Oculus is going into in the chat and everything else into my computer, gaming computer I use for GS Pro. I probably won't. Well, maybe I may wear Crocs. I probably won't wear Crocs. What I'll probably do when I play that, usually I wear like workout clothes. So I'll probably pull out the leggings. I love those things. Probably pull out the leggings, wear some socks. It'd be nice to be in shorts and a t-shirt for once. Or maybe I'll just wear the flannel even inside and work up a real sweat just to troll C-Drum. All right, I think I'm gonna do that. I think I'm gonna try to. I gotta get a couple more things done. But I think sounds fun. I think the plan is tonight try out an Oculus stream if I can get it set up on my computer. probably 5 p.m. ish, maybe. So like 2 hours around there. All right, I'm out of here. Stay tuned. I'll probably schedule something, but we'll mess around with some ping pong and some pickleball, maybe some VR golf. But catch you guys on the next one. Thanks for tuning in.